This week on Golf Portfolio, Davis Love is on course for the perfect 18.
We're going to design a golf course that I can play and that my mom can play.
Sea Island's Bill Jones III wants to go Pebble Beach one better.
Our vision is to be known as the finest resort and resort community in the world.
And the fall and rise of one of golf's biggest names.
The only way you can validate performance is to have the best players in the world using your equipment.
All this week on Golf Portfolio. This is Golf Portfolio, the business of the game. Presented by Citigroup Private Bank. Golf is big business in our world, and nowhere is it bigger than in the U.S. Almost 27 million of us call ourselves golfers. Every year, we spend $22 billion on green fees and equipment to play America's 17,000 courses. Golf course design is a business once dominated by landscape architects. Tom Corvin has the story of two brothers who are as dominating behind the scenes as they are in the spotlight.
I hit this 1-iron, and it's a little down the right side, but the wind's hard right to left. And here it comes, it starts coming back.
Davis Love III and his brother Mark have taught golf shots since they were little kids. It's hard not to when your dad's a golf legend, a name among the greats of the '64 Masters. The late Davis Love Jr. taught his boys everything they know about golf, and they've shared that knowledge on courses around the world ever since. With his brother as caddy, Davis's long, silky game has claimed 25 championship cups. His PGA win in '97, the crowning of his father's legacy. That same year, Davis paid tribute to his dad with his autobiography. He called it, "Every Shot I Take."
Golf is something that you learn a little bit at a time, and he gave us a lot at a young age of influenced us in not only the way we played, but the way we thought about the game and the way we thought about the golf courses. From an early age, I was drawing my dream holes and looking in books and drawing pictures of holes and bunkers. And now that we actually get to do it for real, is very, very exciting that Mark and I get to continue doing something together that our father wanted to do.
And how Mark and Davis are doing it would no doubt make their father proud. Rather than rest on their golf laurels, the brothers Love are designing and redesigning courses in the spirit of their father. And so far, Love Enterprises has been picture perfect. In just 6 years, 8 Love courses have drawn rave reviews. Barefoot Landing and North Myrtle Beach, for example. Golf Digest magazine named it the best new course in 2000.
Our goal is not to build the hardest golf holes, is to build the most natural looking golf holes.
And that is the signature Love look. The Tiff Sport Bermuda roughs at Barefoot, the greenside swales both whisper Pinehurst, and the simulated ruins along fairways nod to Scottish tradition. Nothing wild, no big statements, just natural looking courses.
You can draw anything on a piece of paper now, and with enough money you can build it. We're trying to build it to fit the land in a more of a traditional style.
So it's our job to try to manipulate that land as little as we have to, but still make it look natural and make it look like it was always there.
And playable. Well, our strategy on playability goes back to trying to come up with selling our first couple jobs, saying that we're going to design a golf course that I can play and that my mom can play.
And that's one of the big reasons the Love brothers recently redesigned the Retreat in St. Simons.
It's incredible there, the landscaping.
It's not only where their mother plays, it's where the brothers forged their father's design philosophy from the wheel of a cart.
It's easy to build one long, it's easy to build one hard, it's hard to build one that fits everybody's game.
You got your Pebble Beach down here and your...
In this instance, a course on the coast of Baja, Mexico. No mail-in project.
I had a lot of chances all through my career to just say that I was involved with a project or put my name on a course somewhere overseas, but we always wanted it to be something that we controlled, something that we did together. We always laugh at when they make us put titles on contracts because it's hard to say who's in charge or who has to make the final say.
But there is no secret when anyone walks on to a Love design course.
To me, there is no right or wrong in golf course design. It's what you like and what's fun, and this was fun, and it took us a couple times. I kept saying, no, bigger, bigger, bigger.
Davis is talking about his 14,000 square foot green at Retreats number 6, a smart way to fill in empty space and a friendly poke in the ribs of anyone trying to seriously second guess his style.
Now, what do you do when you get some goofball designer that makes a green that big? How do you?
Greens are built to fit the shape of the hole and the way that the designer wants it to play. And you don't do it all beforehand. You do it when you get out there in the field.
That's good. You need to explain away why I did this.
The brothers Love laugh a little easier now that Mark's caddying less and dealing with business back home.
I can go concentrate on what I do the best, and then when it's time for me to get to come back and work on this, I know that I can just jump in and give my opinion, and I don't have to worry about sweating the details.
I miss being in the middle of it. He seems to be doing just fine. So,
And you don't have to sweat 3-footers and clean grips is the good thing. Well, all it would take is a few days of wind.
The Loves aren't sweating much when it comes to the design side of golf. Even though the names have changed, the Fazios and Dyes replacing the Duvals and Woodses, their competitive style remains the same. A smooth, strong charge for the lead, with eyes wide open.
It is a competition. I don't like that business side competition, but trying to build a golf course that competes with what those guys are building is our goal. We don't try to outdo them, we try to learn from them.
Just like they learned from their dad. Davis Love Jr. told his boys to chase their dreams and enjoy the trip. They're still doing both in the name of love.
I'm not going to play forever, and Mark caddying wasn't going to last forever. And this is something that we can do together, something that we enjoy. I putted it up around the bunker. We want to be in the top 100. We want to be in the best new courses of the year, and we want to be the best new design firm there is. We have goals, but we don't want to be the biggest, but we'd like to be considered as one of the best.
What's one of the most delightful aspects of golf? All the great places to go just to play. We spend $24 billion a year on golf travel, so when we get there, it better be worth it. This week in Pitch Shots, Tom Corvin takes us to a place where no one gets disappointed.
You'll think you're in Scotland, listening to the bagpiper play at 7, until you notice the stars and bars over his shoulder and know you're not far from home. Home away from home. That's the idea behind The Lodge, Sea Island's commitment to what CEO Bill Jones III wants to be the most memorable golf experience in the world.
No surprises, just the best of everything. And I think that's what you really look for in a world-class golf experience.
Entering through the Avenue of the Oaks is not unlike stepping back in time, back to the days of Bobby Jones's visits, to the 30s when founder Howard Coffin started Sea Island's championship status. The bridge to the present has led to 4 redesigned courses. Names like Tom Fazio, Reese Jones, and Davis Love giving Sea Island its classic but varied look. And it's all below the veranda of your room.
You want to be able to come into a luxurious setting, have a wonderful meal with your family or your friends.
Of course, there are conference rooms for meetings between rounds, but Bill Jones has his sights set on more than just one setting. When the Cloister opened in 1928, it quickly established a tradition of fine dining that is yet to fade. The Cloister is still the marquee mansion at Sea Island, and the chandeliers still glimmer over the halls of cuisine. Head chef Todd Rogers.
Very unique, being that it's been here for a long time, the tradition, the location, it's one of a kind.
As is the wine cellar, an old cistern that houses 3,500 selections from $25 to $4,000 a pop.
We have wines back until the early 1900s, late 1800s, that hopefully will appease anyone's palate.
And like the wine, Sea Island offers different rooms with a view. In this instance, the 58 rooms of 3 new secluded ocean houses, all overlooking the coast.
We are trying to sell this product as it's its own little destination.
But managing director Thomas Wicke doesn't have to try very hard. The big bright rooms sell themselves. And although the Mediterranean style might not feel like a boardroom setting, there is a boardroom, Sea Island style.
So you can literally rent this entire little village from us for your attendees, and you're secluded, leave and come and go as you want to. That's the idea behind it.
What brings it all together, Bill Jones says, is a song of service. From the stuffed chairs and chessboards of the locker room to the pro shop, from the warm stained wood of the living room to the intimacy of a suite. No one ever says no, Bill Jones says. Ever.
If you check in here and you happen to want a bologna sandwich, now we're not going to tell you we don't have bologna. They're going to get in the car and they're going to go to the grocery store and they're going to find bologna. We're just not going to say no to you.
Bill Jones says he wants the Sea Island Resort to be the best golf experience in the world. If it's not there yet, it's not far away.
Folks today do have the means and the opportunity to travel all over the world, so we've got to compete really with the rest of the world. I think it raises the bar for us, it motivates us, it makes us more passionate about being the best out there, and it's just really a big part of what makes us tick.
This week on Golf Portfolio, the PGA Championship is a major. It's a major business opportunity.
We create extraordinary customer relations. Our clients really enjoy it.
At Callaway Golf, the legacy of Ely Callaway lives on.
His behavior motivated many of our employees who today are dedicated to the company in his memory.
And whether it's running a major business or a world-class golf resort, Herb Kohler's approach shot is unique.
Never copy anything. We're always inventing. And that's the joy of business.
All this week on Golf Portfolio. This is Golf Portfolio, the business of the game. Presented by Citigroup Private Bank. Pro football may have its Super Bowl once a year, but professional golf has 4, the majors. The golf is great, and so is business.
Oh, we got all of our Christmas done. For my goddaughter, the bear.
Yeah, we got the hats with the name on the back.
We got the head cover for Tiger. And our boys love these balls.
No bargains whatsoever.
But it's worth it?
Yes. Got to have something to take home.
$400. And he's in there buying some more.
We spend $1 billion a year on soft goods like this. In fact, it took 18 semis to outfit the merchandise tent of the PGA. But the really big deals are generated in the collegial atmosphere of the guest suites. At golf tournaments, that means a fancy tent with a great view. Tom Corvin takes us behind the ropes for an insider's perspective on corporate hospitality.
We need a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The clock is ticking.
Right now, we're 10 minutes ahead of schedule.
But that doesn't ease the pressure on preparations.
Definitely, the pressure's definitely on. Definitely. Everything is in demand.
And more than 1,000 staffers are moving it out as fast as they can, as much as they can carry.
Black eyed pea and penne pasta salad.
Between now and Sunday, it's going to be real busy.
And this movable feast is just getting started out the door.
You know I need it. All right, don't sell me down the river, please.
More than a dozen chefs in a half dozen kitchens barter for supplies.
I don't want to be sold down the river, okay?
But the only thing sold out of this kitchen is hospitality, or at least what fuels it. While the PGA gets underway, another kind of competition comes with it. It's the air-conditioned competition for business. More than 40 corporate sponsors have set up shop in chalets along the fairways of the Atlanta Athletic Club, wheeling and dealing the PGA way.
As a matter of fact, we had one fellow who was scheduled a fishing trip for this week. And when he found out that we were going to invite him down here, he canceled the fishing trip.
Because Rico Copier's Bob Ngagli is offering more than trout. At least Chef Paul Taylor is.
We'll go through 10,000 pounds of chicken breast. We'll go through 5,000 to 6,000 pounds of turkey breast. We'll go through 5,000 to 6,000 pounds of fresh sirloin and strip loins and tenderloins.
I don't know. Why?
Because corporations are hungry to serve. More than $500,000 worth of food is laid out in the name of hospitality. Not to mention the $750,000 for booze and beer.
We're looking to sell over 2,000 kegs. And that's not the prepackaged 12-ounce cans.
1, 2, 3.
The big screen event's been in the planning stages for more than a year. And operations manager Mike Gilligan was still setting up some of the 1,000 tables the night before, still making sure thousands of floral arrangements got to those tables before the morning tea time.
It's our job to disguise the negatives and promote the positives.
and really make the whole thing seem seamless to the customer.
You guys having a good time?
And once the seams are sewn, the handshakes begin. The door starts swinging, collars loosen a little more as conversations casually move from the leaderboard to business.
High tech and all that sort of stuff is only so good. You still have to work one-on-one, people to people.
St. Paul independent broker Charles Stryker is one of thousands passing through the Royal and Sun Alliance Chalet. It's refreshing inside, the food's finger-licking good, and the play's only a TV set away.
So what better place than down here in Atlanta at the Atlanta Athletic Club? PGA Championship.
I'm Rich Cremona with Sprint PCS. Guys, I'm Rich Cremona with Sprint PCS. Well, thanks for coming, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Rich Cremona is the sales president for Sprint. It says so on his business card.
This is one of our latest phones that we carry. Obviously, want to get this in the picture.
But his pitch has a friendlier ring to it when it's made a fence away from the ninth green.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
And that's why Sprint has no problem with Cremona's six-figure expense report.
It's not a cost, it is an investment, and really investing in the relationships we want to build with some of our most important clients.
Do we do any deals here?
Lots of you.
Yeah, I think so.
Not that sales numbers matter at the moment. It's the setting that counts, one that corporate sponsors hope clients don't forget, thanks to the mementos and chalets of the PGA.
There are brands and then there are other brands, and the PGA brand, just this little thing on the end of the shirt or on the cap, that says an awful lot.
Few brands are as closely associated with a person as Callaway. So when Ely Callaway passed away in July at the age of 82, the golf world lost an ambassador. The business world lost an icon. And the equipment company that bears his name moved forward on course, without the man who had always been its compass. Matt Morrison takes us inside the transition at Callaway Golf.
Leaving an oversized imprint even larger than the club head that made him famous, Ely Callaway has no replacement. He was truly one of a kind.
A fertile mind that always saw the opportunity rather than the challenges in whatever situation may exist.
He did have vision, remarkable intuitive intelligence.
Ely was very well prepared for every eventuality, and in this case, he laid the groundwork for his departure by hand-choosing his senior management team.
As the new president and CEO, Ron Drapeau knows his challenges include the inevitable comparison to a charismatic legend that he simply can't compete with, and so he won't. The person handpicked by Callaway to lead the company sees himself as simply the steward of the founder's ideals.
Ely was an entrepreneur, visionary, and led by his heart. My approach will be very much team-based. We will spend much more time analyzing opportunities and challenges to our business that perhaps came naturally to Ely by instinct.
I think the team, particularly under Ron Drapeau's leadership, are well aware of the expectations, well aware of the pressures in the business, and have all got to step up and address what it is that is required to take the business to the next level, both domestically in the United States and internationally.
Breakthrough innovation, specifically the Big Bertha driver, lifted the company to prominence. A decade later, the challenge is to top it.
To make an object that somebody can actually use and enjoy is incredibly gratifying. It makes you so proud. And I think that was the biggest thing, that we never really expected this sort of reaction. And when it happened, it was great.
Our investment in research and development is by far the largest in the industry, and we're going to continue to spend in that arena to ensure that we can continue to bring products that bring just a little more enjoyment for average golfers.
Making the game easier for everyone was always the goal, and Ely took steps to ensure that his mission would survive him.
When I signed with Mr. Callaway, we talked and met about how to make the company a younger company, how to make it geared more toward the younger players, and how to make it cool.
The book lists just 34 official rules in the game of golf. Rule 35 is more than just the name of the Callaway golf ball. It's been, in a sense, Ely Callaway's personal philosophy. And it states simply, enjoy the game.
Handicap.
Everybody here understands what Ely's vision was for the company and what his dedication to product was.
It's all about improving on what we have done already. We're always trying to make our products obsolete.
What never goes out of style is the work ethic and attention to customer satisfaction that Mr. Callaway clearly instilled in those that carry on in his name.
You will see this team at Callaway Golf, the senior management team, the officers, the technicians, the professionals at every level of our company, continuing to do the things that have made us successful. And I think, in fact, we will be inspired to not let our founder down as he's no longer with us.
Just as Ely planned, his board named Ron Drapeau chairman of Callaway in August of 2001. Herb Kohler doesn't do business on the golf course, but he definitely understands how golf can help the art of the deal.
And after golf, after you've had a great competition between each other, there's nothing better. There's no better time than for business.
Harry Hurt discovers there is no running hot and cold when Herb Kohler talks business or golf, when Golf Portfolio continues. In business, his talent is making art of the mundane. In golf, his art is creating landscapes nature would envy. Harry Hurt introduces us to the Renaissance man from America's industrial heartland.
Imagine your name is Herbert V. Kohler, Jr. You were born in the village of Kohler, Wisconsin. You're the heir to a major privately held corporation founded by your grandfather called the Kohler Company. But if you're Herb Kohler, there's no way you're going to rest on your family's name and money.
We have a little principle that we never copy. Never copy anything. We're always inventing. And that's the joy of business.
Kohler is the nation's #1 maker of bath and kitchen products, a leading furniture maker, and a leading manufacturer of power generators. Herb Kohler is a hands-on boss from the floor of his plumbing factory to the body spas featured in his resorts.
This is one of the most unusual bathroom products you're going to see. It's called a body spa. This moves 180 gallons of water a minute.
Easy to get captivated here. Golf brings out the same competitive instincts that have made Herb Kohler a success in business, especially when he tees it up at Whistling Straits. We're going to play a match, stroke a hole for you, and I'm playing from the tips, right?
Harry, I hope you enjoy it.
I hope you play well, Herb. Kohler did not start playing seriously until he decided to build the first golf course at Black Wolf Run in 1984. By then, he was already in his mid-40s. Was it tough to learn? Was it frustrating, or did it eventually start to get fun?
Harry, it's still tough.
It's still tough, huh? Kohler has an 18 handicap, but he shows more than average potential. That's a good shot there. Oh. Kohler has always forged his own path. He worked in the Kohler factory as a teenager during the summers, but he dropped out of Yale after his freshman year, and of all things, decided to try acting.
I got into the theater. Believe it or not, Harry, I became a poet of sorts, a bit of a writer. And I, foremost, was a bit of a rebel, rebelling against the path that had been sort of laid out for me.
Kohler eventually went back to Yale, but paid his own way. Meanwhile, his father kept begging him to rejoin the Kohler Company, which had been torn by a bitter strike during Herb Jr.'s absence.
I said, Pop, if you make me a promise, I'll come back. I said, that promise is that you'll never protect me, that you let me make my own mistakes. It's the greatest freedom, greatest right you can give me.
The promise was made, but tragically, Kohler's father died only a few months after he returned to the company.
I was 29. And a week after the funeral, the treasurer, the VP of Industrial Relations, the general counsel, and I sat around at a little table and tried to decide how this company would be managed going forward.
At age 30,